Alright, what's good? What's good? We're gonna be going over our weekly outlook for November 15th to November 19th. So right here, we're gonna start off rip here on the SPY chart on the daily. We are very bullish. Even on the weekly, we had a very nice strong last week, breaking new all-time highs again here on SPY, and the whole market has been pushing up because we have anticipated rate cuts coming into this week. As you know, on Wednesday, the FOMC meeting with Jerome Powell, he's going to be looking to cut rates because of how the jobs market came in and the data. So, based off that, the market is um, the market is looking to do a rate cut this FOMC meeting on September 17th, I believe. So the market has been rallying because of that news. So that's something we have to keep in mind, and we're gonna keep that on watch. And let's go down to the 1 hour time frame. We want to see how we open up pre-market here on Monday. As long as we stay above these highs here, that we can see a little bit more of a push to the upside. 659 was all-time highs here on Friday on the market. So we're going to see if we could push back above and hold this level for some upside. If not, we can see a potential pullback to around this level here, around 655 to 653. So in between this range, we'll see how these levels react, and we can trade SPY based off of that. And since we have the FOMC coming on Wednesday, we might see a little bit more of a choppiness on Monday and Tuesday before. And I feel like when the meeting does come and Jerome Powell decides to cut rates, the market has been pricing that in this whole last week. So I feel like it's going to be like buy the hype and sell the news type of situation on Wednesday. So there's most likely, I believe, probably going to be a sell-off as soon as they do uh, let out the news that they are going to cut interest rates, just because the whole market's been pricing that in. And once that news comes out, people are probably going to be taking profits and everything. Even though it's very good news, they're cutting rates. I believe the market is going to do a nice pullback once that comes out on Wednesday at 2 p.m., 2:30 p.m. when Jerome Powell starts speaking. So just keep that in mind. If you're in any long positions, swinging, look to take profit. Look to lock your gains in, and don't get caught on the dump of Wednesday FOMC. With that being said, we got these levels on SPY. We're gonna watch out how we open up pre-market and how the market will move. Same thing with QQQs. We're gonna watch our all-time highs here on Qs, and let's just see our pullback levels down here. We're gonna watch this level here, 584 to 583 for a pullback on Qs, or a break above to get some more upside here on the tech market. So let's start off with our first ticker, Tesla here. Tesla had an extreme breakout. If we go on the daily, I've been watching this trade for like the whole week. And earlier that week, we did catch a Tesla trade here. We caught a 100% trade here on Tesla coming up to this breakout level, but we ended up hitting our trail stop because it started to sell off on Wednesday. And on Thursday, it broke out of the 355 level, and we pretty much just did a 2-day bull run on Tesla. Extreme breakout. I didn't even expect for this trade to go this crazy, but if you held calls, you would have got a crazy percentage gain here on Tesla. So with that being said, right now I'm gonna be looking for like a 370 pullback, but that's just probably gonna be unrealistic for Tesla to dump that far down. But maybe after the FOMC meeting on Wednesday, maybe the market does dump and we get a nice pullback. If we do, I'm going to be looking for 370s here. I'm going to set my alert for a pullback and a bounce here on Tesla. But other than that, maybe we could jump down to 15-minute, look at a little bit closer levels like 387. We can look also at 392 here on Tesla as well. Maybe we could get a pullback and catch a bounce before Wednesday here on Monday, Tuesday session. Depending how the market opens and depending on the price action, we're just going to watch our levels and play as we see fit pretty much. So that's what I'm going to be looking for is this 370 pullback on Tesla if it gets there. Probably will if the market does dump on Wednesday or Thursday. Other than that, before that, we might look out for these pullback levels right here or a break above these highs for a continued push up higher. With Apple here, we had a very nice strong push here on Friday. Apple ended up very strong after it was bearish the week before and that week. So right here on Apple on the 4-hour chart, we're going to be looking for break above 235. That's the previous resistance and previous support it had. So we're going to be looking at the 235 here on Apple for a break above and catch the retest here. So pretty much we're going to be looking for us to build pre-market, break above, and come back down, retest the 335 level, wait for some buyers for confirmation, and we're just going to take it targeting the highs and above for Apple here. That's going to be my game plan for this week on Apple. So 235 is a watch, or we can see a pullback to 231. Either or, we'll keep an eye out on Apple and watch these levels. Let's jump on over to NVIDIA. NVIDIA, we can be looking for our break above 180. 180 is a very, very big resistance level / support we had way back here. We had a lot of consolidation in between 180 and 184. Very strong support and resistance level we had. Every time we bounced off good, or if we broke down heavy. So that's something we're going to be looking for this week. If NVIDIA can break above 180, we are definitely going to grab some calls and look for some more upside on NVIDIA. But we got to be careful, because if we do get up, we don't want to automatically get into calls because it is a strong resistance. So don't go long if you see NVIDIA coming up really, really strong. It's coming real close to 180, and then you get calls right here, and then we come break above, and then boom, we reject strong resistance, and then you get smacked in the face trying to get calls while it's trying to break up. What we want to do is wait for that clear break and retest to grab NVIDIA calls. That's what I'll be waiting for. Or we can see a rejection and grab some puts if we do see some sellers coming in and the price action is showing us bearish movement. Then we will get into that. And we can target a floor of 174 on NVIDIA this week. That's pretty much what I'm going to be looking for. It's either a break above 180 or a reject off 180 or a bounce off 174. Those are my levels on NVIDIA. And yeah, let's keep it moving. Meta. I haven't really traded Meta too much lately. It's kind of just been either consolidating or just been doing some crazy up and down movements. So I kind of just been holding off on Meta. So right now, let's check the daily chart. We do have a gap fill all the way down here at 708. So I'll potentially be looking Meta to the downside. We're starting to, break down. We had this earnings on Meta that really popped up crazy, and we really we pretty much didn't break out too much after earnings. We came up to 795, but not too much after that. We started to break down, and we're just starting to form lower highs here. So looking for Meta to break down 740, under 740. I'm definitely looking for the downside here on Meta. If we break under 750, we could catch puts to 740 and then below. So if we come down and break down above below 750, grab some puts. If it sellers coming in, we could grab it to 740 and below. That's when we're looking for Meta. To the upside, I'm not really too interested unless we do break back above these highs right here. So if we clear above this level right here on Meta, I'll be looking for calls. But if we don't break above this previous high, then I won't be interested in getting calls on Meta. So just looking for Meta downside. Other than that, if it breaks above, we'll look for some calls. Let's jump over to Amazon. Let's check out the daily chart. Daily chart, it looks like it's trying to push its previous all-time highs here. So Amazon looks good. We started to break down last week a bit. So let's watch this level right here that I had drawn out. Let's extend it over here and let's watch Amazon. If we get a bounce off 226, we can look to get some calls off this bounce, or we can see how it reacts. If it pushes up heavy on Monday session pre-market, we'll see how it reacts above 230. If not, let's see if we hold the support of 226. Excuse me. Other than that, my major support is 220 here. If we do get down there, I'll be looking for a major bounce. But other than that, 226 and above 230 are my levels here on Amazon. I'm going to just be patient, wait for either side to break and see which direction is going to push, and just go with the trend. That's pretty much what we could do. Going on to AMD, oh my God. I had called the craziest cup and handle right here. Boom. I called out AMD swing right here, and we did over 150% the next day at the top. We sold for profit. Very good. I called it on the Discord. If you caught it, good for you. That was a very good one-day swing trade here I took on AMD. Other than that, on AMD, we're looking like it was breaking down, but after that nice push on the middle of the week, Wednesday, and we broke structure to the upside and we formed a higher low. So for AMD, I'll be looking to take it for the upside. If we hold above 158 is going to be my support level. If we hold above 158, I'll be looking for some upside on AMD. 164 and 168 are going to be my levels. So let's just see how we open up on Monday and take it as we see fit. I do like AMD turning bullish here on the chart, especially this cup and handle play I did call out. It still hasn't really broke out. Our target would be 164 here, and if we do have a strong break, we can definitely take it to 168. So I'm very bullish here on AMD. Let's watch these levels. Let's see how it plays out. It's looking like it's gonna give us another nice pop here. So let's see if we could catch this here on AMD. Let's see. Robinhood, we did catch a pretty good day trade off this the support level broke down and turned to resistance on Friday. I did call out a put right here. We broke under its resistance, and once we started to get sellers come in, we took it to the downside. Caught those puts pretty good on Friday's session. Other than that, we can go to our Duolingo swing play. I did call this out on the last Sunday weekly outlook. We had bullish diversions and a major support level, and these contracts did way over 100%, almost 150, 200%, depending on the contracts you got. We had a very nice bounce, took profits. The swing was very successful, so everyone that caught it, pat yourself on the back. That was a very good swing. The other swing that we're in is Chipotle, which is currently down right now. And if we break under these lows right here, I will stop out. If we break under 38.30, I will stop out on Chipotle. But if we do break above 39 again and get a nice push, we should break back even and see how much more we could catch here on Chipotle. We did have bullish diversions, but Unfortunately, it kept dropping down. So depending on how Monday opens, if we could break back above 39, we could add into this swing play because we do have to over a month. So we do have time on these contracts. So nothing to worry about if we don't break under these lows. So that's pretty much my weekly outlook and the day trades we took, swing trades. One last thing I do want to go over is UPS. UPS has partnered with a very big company, and we haven't seen these lows we're at since COVID, since the start of COVID. So we're pretty much down from the height of UPS. We're pretty much down 65%. So I'm getting in long term leaps. I'm getting in contracts that is like January 2027. So I'm getting in over 1 year contracts on UPS. This is a very long term play. I'm very bullish on UPS coming back to the upside within the next year here. So I've gotten some calls on leaps here on UPS, and I'll be looking to add overtime on this UPS position. And this could easily do 500 to 1,000% if we get back to these highs on these over 1 year contracts. So if this trade does go good, you can pretty much bank a lot. Guaranteed double, triple, quadruple your money if you have the patience to wait for UPS to go over this long period of time. But that's pretty much wraps up my part of the weekly outlook. We're going to go over to Cam. He's going to be going over gold and the market data and everything that's coming up this coming week. So I'm going to hand it over to Cam. He's going to go over everything with you. And yeah, go on his screen and let's go. Let's lock in. If he's listening, if he's here. He has a child to attend to, so let's see if he could hear me right now. He's at the computer or not.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right,
But I
perfect.
still have push to talk set up. So could you switch that real quick?
Yeah. I got you. I gotta change it every time. All right. Speak. Voice activities. All right. Perfect. Eric, you got it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Bet. Okay.
It's all good.
All right. So
Okay.
good to go. Good to go.
We good.
All right. What's up, everybody? Here is my gold analysis for this week. Just a quick recap on what happened last week trading. We did hit all-time highs. We did hit all-time highs at 36.75, and then from there we saw sellers come into the market and push price down below 36.40, and then we saw buyers try to come back in and push price above, but it was held underneath that 36.55 area of resistance, and we saw a new structure being formed. So we saw this high, low, lower high, and then we saw a break below that previous low into a new low. So now we had buyers come back up to try and push. We saw equal high here, same rejection at that 36.55, and then we saw price start to falter down into close on Friday. Now we have Sunday open, market open, and we have that continuation down. We broke back below that 36.40 psychological level, which has been significant support and resistance, as we can see here with these candles, all this rejection here at this level. Now that we've broken below, we can see sellers are now taking full momentum down to bring price down towards these previous support levels here at the 36.25 to 36.20 zone. So that would be right now, if I'm in sales, which I am currently, my first targets would be that zone right here. So in that, we can see looking ahead, we have major news coming up this week, especially on Wednesday. We have the interest rates decision, which the market is pricing in interest rate cut, which will be the first we see in a while. which is kind of what signaled this major bullish run that we saw here, from news and rumors coming out that the Fed is going to start cutting rates. So we saw this massive pump into all-time highs. Then we saw this selling, and what we understand is that these institutions always want to target discounted price if they're going to push something up. We know gold is long-term bullish. We can look at this here right here, and we know gold is running up. And with everything happening in the economy right now, there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of fear. Um, Gold is always going to be that number one asset that is a safe haven against that uncertainty and against that fear. So, understanding that we have this major news coming out on Wednesday, which is this red vertical line that I have set right here, that is at set at 1 o'clock on Wednesday is when that interest rates decision is going to be coming out. We go to the calendar here,
I thought it
and we
was
can
2
go
p.m.
to on the East Coast. It's coming out at 1.
Oh shit, I forgot you on the East Coast. Yeah,
Oh, it's coming out. Yeah, yeah,
2
it's
p.m.
coming out at two.
Eastern.
2. Yep, yep, yep. 2 p.m. 2 p.m.
Yes,
It usually comes out around like the Fed gets on, like they start speaking around like 1 to 1:30. So usually it's around 1:30 they come out, but right here we're seeing 2 p.m. So it's gonna be coming out at 2 p.m. on Wednesday. My mistake. But either way, we know that they're going to want to get those discounted price before we get that next leg up. So we're seeing these sellers come in, which is also these buyers here taking their profit. Sellers pumping or pushing price down into discount, which would be around this 35.80 level, which was that last major resistance, broke through, failed to test. We didn't never came back for support to test confirm support here. So this could be ideal discount zone into the news. So right now, majorly bullish on gold, 100%. But in this week's trading, I can see that sellers are getting their momentum, especially on this open that we just had today. We see we've broken through major support and resistance, and we're heading to the downside. So if we break this zone here of support, we know we're going to be targeting that next major zone of support and resistance, which is this 34.75 area, which on this leg is that 50 to 61.8 discount zone, that gold zone in the Fibonacci for that next leg up. So I'm targeting sales. I'm looking for sales this week. Obviously, if you're just doing a longer term swing trade or you're just holding positions, look buy the dip, right? You reach a support level, you add in, you price in, and you just dollar cost average if you want to do that. But we're day traders and we're looking for the best opportunities on both the sell and the buy side. So right now, I am bearish on gold for this week leading up to Wednesday. Wednesday, my bias is most likely going to change, understanding that there is a high chance we're going to get those rate cuts. Until then, it's just hedging, making sure that the structure is good. Obviously, we're in this bearish structure right now because we had high, low, lower high, higher, or yeah, we got the high, higher low from this low, lower high, break of this low, which is that we got our break of structure. We came back up, double top here, failure to break above this high, and now we're continuing down. If we get this fall down below this level, we're definitely selling down towards discount. So that's what I'm looking for this week, and that's just pretty much all I'm paying attention to. Gold is looking good for good opportunities. Gold has always been clean with the setups. So a lot of it is just patience and just understanding what is going to be moving price. Especially this week, we have major interest rate decision coming out on Wednesday. So that's the biggest thing we should be looking out for. If you want to be on the safer side, just wait until Wednesday, see what happens, and going for your buys because gold is going to stay bullish. We're not going to see gold crash anytime soon. Anytime soon. We're not going to see gold going back anywhere down this. With all the stuff going on in the economy right now, with everything going on in politics and everything like that, we're going to be seeing gold making new highs. We're targeting 3,700. We're targeting $4,000 gold. Like gold is going to be going up. So it's either wait for your longer term swings for the buys or just trade responsibly and look for your sells, look for your buys, and just getting for the right opportunities. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for gold. That's all I have for you guys. Um, Trade safely. Let's make this week a good week. Look out for news. Pay attention to what's going on in the economy. And yeah, that's all I got.
You know what I think's gonna happen on Wednesday?
Talk to me.
I feel like everyone obviously knows the jobs data was coming out, pretty bad, which forces the feds to cut rates even more. So the
Uh
whole
huh.
market has been looking to cut rates this whole past week. That's why we had the biggest, push and runs the last 2 weeks. I feel like because everyone knows we're gonna get rate cuts. Everyone's pricing it in. The whole market is. So I feel like since we had such a nice push up, I feel like we're gonna be like buy the hype and sell the news type of thing on the first rate cut. I feel like just because on this first rate cut we had a very strong push on like the S&P 500 ES, all of that. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like as soon as the rate cuts come out, you would expect for it to pop up and go crazy. But I feel like a lot of people already caught that move that as soon as the news come out, people are gonna sell it. People are gonna sell the news, even though rate cuts are very bullish for the market. I feel like for that day or for the next day, we're gonna see the sell the news type of activity.
Mm-hmm. And I mean that could definitely very well happen because we see that a lot too. Is where that by the rumor, this say so like right. We had the Jackson Hole Symposium. This leg here, that's the rumor, right? Because that's when they first said, "Oh, we might. There's a chance we we cut rates this year, right?" And then we have this intention here to start selling into news. We could easily see a setup to where we have this, and then boom, news comes out, and we just keep selling, pricing out, taking out all these people. We have liquidity sitting here, and they're still structured below here too. We could see a deeper correction for sure before we start seeing them
That's what
run
I'm
to
seeing.
new
I
highs.
feel like so much people are like so bullish because their rate cuts. They're like going long. Everyone's buying, and we have so much liquidity to the downside. I feel like as soon as the Feds cut rates, everyone was expecting for the market to explode, but they're actually gonna sell it and dump it, catching liquidity and having a nice push, stomping out longs, and then they're gonna reverse it back to the upside. So that's what I'm kind of looking for, honestly, to happen. And I recommend anyone that's like heavy in positions to like scale out before Wednesday, at least the 2 p.m. and and at least get some puts to hedge against your positions long term. That's what I would say. You never know. Nobody got a crystal ball, but I feel like that's something that's gonna happen. And then obviously we're gonna have so many more rate cuts coming next year, and probably even in December this year and next year. I feel like just the first cut, they're gonna fake a lot of people out.
Yeah, I mean these institutions love to collect people's liquidity and turn retail into liquidity anyway. So everyone's expecting that. They could definitely push everyone against that news, and then they make their run. It's just that bigger spike out onto into the actual move. So that could definitely happen. Um, and that's where it comes to with being a day trader. You have to be ready to pivot your analysis at any point. When you see like the thing with being a day trader is you can't just hold on to a bias completely and just be religious with that. You got to be knowing when to pivot. You got to know when to cut your losses and be like, "Okay, this is going against me. I'm going to get out, wait for the next opportunity." We understand that markets move in certain waves and they move it to certain points. So if you can see that clear pattern, yeah, there's definitely okay, right here, right? We see this level here of support and resistance at this 3640. They could have easily brought it down here and say, okay, there's support here. We hold support and then go back up. We're bullish on gold anyways. But no, they burst right through that support and then now it's resistance or it's holding resistance maybe we could come back here find support and then we move we could come here, break through this, find support here, then we move up. It like being a day trader, you have to know when to get in, when to get out, when to hold on to a bias and when to let go of it. Because we're not the ones in control of how these markets move. We're just only reacting and placing bets on certain moves. But at the end of the day, you have to understand there's sharks out here trying to take your bread. And once you understand that, you gotta know and be flexible. Like, okay, this move is this thing that I saw isn't the actual move. All right, I'm gonna get out and wait for the real move.
Yo, how much you think the Feds are gonna cut rates this September meeting?
Um, at least 100 points.
No
At least.
way.
Yeah,
A
no,
hundred
at least
points,
100 points.
bro.
That's nothing. 100 basis points is nothing. Like what interest rates at 2.9 or inflation's at 2.9. So inflation is going up. They need
Yeah,
to
but they're gonna
they
cut.
were
I don't
already
think they're gonna
supposed
cut
to.
a whole point, like a whole hundred basis points. That's crazy. That's crazy.
So
Cause
right now we're floating at 4.5.
if they
They
drop
drop it
it
100.
100 basis points, that's gonna be 3.5.
Yeah, that's
No
bro, I'm
way.
telling you
No way,
that's not a lot compared to how we've been holding for the past what 2 years, 3 years. They
bro.
should have already been cut rates.
I know. Jerome Powell's
But
been holding it, but bro, do you know how much a whole 100 basis points is? That's a lot. They're looking to cut 25 basis points or 50. Bro, remember when they did their first cut? When was it this year? Like a long time ago, right? Do you remember that, or was it last year?
hold on, let me see
Remember when
your
they first
interest rate.
cut it? It was 50
I think it
basis
was
points.
last year. No,
It was either last year or the beginning of this year. They cut it by 50 basis points. No, it was right before April. Remember, before the tariffs. Remember, they had their
Yeah, yeah,
first
yeah.
interest rate cuts. It was by 50 basis points. People thought it was 25, but it was 50, and 50 is a lot. And they cut a lot, but Jerome Powell says they're not going to cut anymore for a longer period of time. That's why the whole market crashed in like March with the tariff news. But 100 basis points, and my dog said it's gonna that's pretty much 1%. That's a lot. That's a lot, and I doubt they're gonna cut it by that much.
you think it'll be? You think it'll be less or more?
I think it's gonna be less because you gotta understand a point 25, a 25 basis cut, which is 0.25%, is normal. Point 50 is kind of big, but 1%, that's huge. I really doubt they're gonna do that because that's too much to handle at once. That's gonna make the
Yeah.
inflation shoot up rapidly with a whole point basis point. But if it does, yo, I'm all for it, but that will literally explode the market to the upside. If it did 1%, that would
Yeah,
be
but here's the thing that I understand is inflation is a lagging indicator from interest rates. So they can cut. Think about what happened when they had 0% interest rate for 8 years. Well, not
not.
like
I
six
know.
years straight.
It is lacking. You're right. It is a lacking. It's when they cut it, they're not going to see it right away. That's why they don't cut heavy because it is a lacking indicator. So they don't want to cut a whole 1 point because they're not going to know what that's going to do to the economy until 6 months down the line. So that's why they do 25 or 50 basis points first, point 25, point 50, and they slowly ease their way into it. Doing a 1% cut is like it's like a huge part of the pie.
Super detrimental.
It
If
is.
anything, if anything, they will definitely do a 1% cut by the end of the year because there's two more
Yeah, yeah,
decisions after
that's
this.
reasonable. But in one meeting, insane. I believe if they do that, they're gonna explode the market if they do. But I feel like they might drop it, maybe point 25, point 50, and another 25, another 25. They're gonna spread it out. They're not gonna do it all at once.
Because
They need to
the
do
dollar.
something with minimum wage too, though, because people ain't making any more money, but everything's more expensive. So it's like eventually they got to do something about that.
Yeah.
But I really don't think they care, to be honest. Like as long as they keep the people that are supposed to be getting rich get rich. Like and you don't learn in a skill like this or something close to, like, it's gonna be bad news soon, man.
Nah, I know it, bro. I
You know
know
what I'm
it.
saying? Like, especially for people who are like super ignorant and like don't think and they just rely heavily on the government. I'm like, bro, like if you're not in that top percent, they don't really care because they know you're going to be really affected.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't even realize that. Like, do you understand how many jobs are gonna be lost with AI within the next 5 years, bro?
Bro, don't even get me started with
People
AI
are
talk,
gonna
bro. I've
be
been diving
cooked,
deeper into this shit, bro.
bro. I swear. That's why I like. That's why I like. You feel me? Doing these lives so I could like tell people, bro. People are gonna be cooked from AI within the next
Super,
5 years. So much people gonna be
super.
out of jobs, bro. That's why you gotta learn some shit like this for real. Gotta get that income on the inside. And plus, the minimum wage ain't shit, and they're not really gonna do shit about it. Inflation is only gonna
Yeah,
get worse no matter what they do.
that's true.
Oh, I will with the AI talk and jobs. I would say people. A lot of people are gonna get weeded out of certain jobs with AI, but there's still gonna
Easily,
be a.
bro.
It's gonna force a higher demand for those hands-on skilled labor jobs to open back up because there are certain things
Like
AI
what?
still can't
Like
touch.
what? Like what? Let me example. I'm gonna try to debunk it.
Like
Like what?
any trades, being a plumber, being an electrician, like you AI itself can't come to your house and wire a house.
Okay, not the
Like
next
there's
5 years. That's true, but in the next 10, there will be robotics in place, and the only thing that the person that's going to be doing is driving the robotics to the location, have the robotics do what it needs to do, and then collect the information from the human, and that's it.
I
Next ten
promise you,
years, bro.
our infrastructure is not ready for that yet. Like the robotics that is required to the advanced technology that's required to even do that. China itself doesn't have robots running around like solving
Yeah,
HVAC
not
issues.
now. You don't think, but 10
Like
years from now, they definitely got projects working on it. That's what they have these people working on right now.
yeah, but what I'm trying to say is when one industry either closes off or gets smaller, it forces other industries to open. The thing is,
Yeah, that's true.
like a lot of people without that don't learn the skill. Everyone's gonna have to eventually get caught up with the technology. It's the same shit like it's with anything. When the internet came out, people didn't know how to use a computer until they had to learn how to use a computer. Like
Yeah,
it's the same thing with AI. People are gonna have to learn how to integrate. Like we have to also have faith in humanity and thinking that we can also like we're the ones building this shit. We're always gonna have to be the ones operating it too.
that's true.
With that, like industries are always going to be open. The thing is, we're moving into an age where everything is online. You have people like making money doing literally anything, like consulting, fitness
Yeah,
industry, movement,
and
like
you
all
don't
these
need a
different.
degree for it anymore.
And you don't
Exactly.
need a degree for it. It's gonna force people to have to learn how to pick. It's like trading, right? You have a position that you're in, and then you realize, oh, the market's going against you, so you get out of that trade and you get in the next trade on the opposite side, right? It's the same thing with the industry that's gonna get taken over by AI. You realize, oh shit, I gotta learn how to use AI. So now everyone's being forced to either go to college, they're gonna have AI courses, or you're gonna have to
Yeah.
buy like
You gotta
shit
learn how
like
to
that.
prompt. They need to learn how to
You're
prompt
gonna
because
exactly. You're gonna have to
AI is
learn how to
a tool.
integrate.
You know, like it's a
You're
tool
gonna
for
have
us
to learn
to
how to
use.
integrate.
I feel like
Yeah,
it's
exactly,
bad though. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like the government fucked up by letting AI be public. You know why?
bro.
Cause
Bro, it learns on its own too, bro. People don't realize that they can go out and make servers, make their own AIs, have their own cloud. Like people don't understand that. Like think about this. Us on this call right now. If one AI is talking to another AI, it can go into an off server on its own and start working together and build its own system in there. And people don't understand that. It's running loose. Like there's nothing
yeah,
stopping the AI because they didn't put anything in place to stop it.
yeah, bro. AI collects all this data from computers to phones. It's collecting data and it's learning about us. So like, no matter what we do, I feel like the government fucked up by letting it be public. Cause so much people could create shit that like people could fake
They
anything
can't stop.
nowadays. And like, bro, and especially if people like in school and shit and college, they just use AI to do their work, bro. No one's doing their work, bro. So
Someone made a some Harvard dropout made something called Cluely. You could cheat on your test. You could cheat on a date. Like anything. Like they're about to make these glasses to where like when you're on a date, if they ask questions or whatever, it comes up with the crazy response. Like bro, it's about to be crazy.
yeah, bro, it's literally insane, bro. Like I don't know. I feel like
So you can either use it or get abused by it.
exactly, bro. Exactly, and I think it's just insane, bro. I don't know, bro. The future is gonna be wild with all this technology and shit coming out with AI. Like literally insane. But
There's
yeah,
a bunch
bro.
of YouTube videos. The guy that the Godfather of AI, he said we're in for a real mess. Like people don't know, and this is the Godfather, the guy who created AI. So he's the one saying this. I'm like, if he's saying that, he's basically saying like, there's nothing that can stop this at this point. We're hit. As long as you don't, if you use it, you good. But like, people should use it to simplify their tasks, so they have more time to do like actual projects that they want to do. Like these are basically 24/7, 365 employees if you use it properly.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's just crazy. I'm pretty sure Elon Musk said we're cooked too with AI because it's so like it's getting so enhanced and shit. Like every day I see some new crazy shit with AI on the internet. I'm like, bruh, that's just crazy, bro. Like people are making movies with AI and doing so much shit with AI. Like, bro, like
Yeah, now you're a producer of a top rated film, and you had no prior knowledge of how to make a film. Now you know how to make a film,
exactly, bro. AI is
which
just
isn't a problem, and making it easier for like quote unquote normal or retail people to get into these industries. You know what I'm saying? But like that doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to be good for and they say that for the environment, it's not good either.
yeah. I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
I don't know too much on that, but I was talking to my homie, and he's like, "Yeah, it's not good for the environment." I'm like, I don't know how, but he said that's it's actually bad for the ecosystem.
It's the
Bro.
amount of energy it needs, and with the data centers and stuff like that. I read about that too.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You know how much data you need for when the first computers came out and everything, like Microsoft, Google, they needed big data centers to run this shit. And you know how
Only one
advanced,
computer, bro, whole room.
bro, and AI is so fucking advanced. They're making like super computers and shit with like
Oh
Nvidia
yeah, quantum computing.
quantum computing, bro. If you actually watch, bro, if you haven't watched a video about quantum computers, please watch it. It literally blows my mind how like how it works. It's so crazy. And the data centers and shit they need to even run it, like it's literally insane. Like those quantum computers are like built so crazy because the temperature needs to be like negative 1,000 degrees because that's how hot the chip gets. It needs to be so cold. It's like unbelievable how it works. And like the data centers, bro, is crazy. And like other than that, bro, a lot of people are relying on AI to do their work, to do shit. People aren't gonna be using their brains and their like creativity no more. And I feel like that's kind of how they take control of us. They make us stop using our creativity. They make us stop being curious and we just ask AI. And guess what? One day, bro, like what if someone takes over that shit and AI could literally tell you anything and you could just believe it. You feel me? Like it's crazy
Yeah.
because a lot of people are starting to rely on that shit.
Bro, all we
But
need is Dominic Toretto, man, and he'll save the world.
you also gotta have like an understanding of the fact that we are living in a different generation where kids nowadays are growing up with it. Like the older generation, they're gonna get weeded out with it. Like they're already believing all these. Bro, there's videos on Facebook of fucking babies having interviews.
Oh yeah,
Like
I
these
love
Yeah.
them
fake
joints. I
videos,
ain't gonna lie, that shit funny.
like
I ain't gonna lie.
and that's like we live in such an attention economy. That's what's already capturing people's attention and shit like that.
You gotta get
The new
content,
age, the new
bro.
generation, the kids that are growing up with it in the schools, the new schools, they're gonna be learning how to prompt. They're gonna be learning how to integrate AI. They're gonna be learning all these different technologies to where personally, I believe I have faith in humanity and the fact that we're gonna evolve with the technology that we're building. So I have no basis to have fear over this shit because it's either you learn it's like you get with it or you don't. You get left
Yeah,
behind. You keep up or you get left behind. It's that simple. And
literally.
if you don't learn these new technologies and learn how to use these things, you're just gonna get left with the class of people that is gonna be reliant on it.
You're
But
gonna be like our
everything
parents, bro.
what
Yeah.
happened?
My bad. I'm done interrupting, but I was saying you're gonna be like our parents. You ever try to help your parents with some tech stuff? Should be mad annoying.
Yeah, but I mean, we live in a world where like it's all love, but we got to figure out this shit for us first. And
Yeah,
then
some
once
people's that's how it is, yo. You got to worry about
we do it,
yourself, low key.
yeah, like at the end of the day, are you gonna wait for your parents to get it before you learn it yourself, or do you
No.
say I'm gonna learn this shit and then hopefully I can teach it to my parents, or I can at least help them understand it enough to where they're not gonna be a slave to this shit. It's
And
like
now it's backwards. Like you're supposed to help
your
us.
philosophy has to be so honed in self-preservation, and then from there, it's like the whole concept, right? You got to be able to put your mask on first before you can put everybody else's oxygen
Yes,
mask.
yes. The airplane. I be using that joint all the time. People be like, "Damn." My grandma hit me with that the other day. She's like, "You always try to
Yeah,
help people. What
like
about you?"
everything is getting fast.